Hey, I'm here with Dr. Sarah MacArthur, and we are going to chat about what she's been doing and what it was like to be in the Boulder office. Hello, Sarah.
Hi.
How does Canada?
Oh, it's good. No, it's good.
So, what have you been up to?
Well, I am covering for maternity leaves at the moment. It's just something I kind of fell into as soon as I moved home and I got my Ontario license.
Mhm.
So just been kind of traveling around my province, just covering for these mat leaves. It's been pretty good.
That's awesome. Well, I thank you for taking the time today to talk with me about your experience working in my office and just your experience in Boulder in general. And hopefully,
Of course. I
you'll have
always
some
love
wonderful.
chatting with you.
Yeah, I know. You have some wonderful advice for the new grads as well, hopefully, because that they need help. They need help with what to do after they graduate.
For sure.
So, what was when you were in the office? What sort of mentorship do you think that you benefited the most from?
I think I got a lot of mentorship specifically from you. Like I just remember, I feel like I didn't know what I didn't know, but there were so many things like when I first showed up in Boulder and we were going through like the marketing plans and the networking, everything that I was going to be doing, right? And everything that was expected of me. That was the first, like, yeah, that was a big moment, I guess, for me to realize, like,
Hmm.
okay, this is happening now, like, lots of mentorship happening. Um, I think from you, I really learned how to like manage my time really as well as like visualize my
Mm.
future, like visualize, patients coming into the office to see me. That
Do you
was
feel
some of the
like
big stuff.
yeah? Do you feel like what you thought in school, like what you thought practice was going to be like, and then what actual practice? How different or similar was that for you?
Pretty different, I think. Again, we don't really get a whole lot of the business aspect of chiropractic in school.
Hmm.
So yeah, it was pretty eye-opening that way. I was really excited to learn though, like it was really like a huge learning curve.
Hmm.
Um, but it was a really good, yeah, good time to learn.
Yeah, and I think that that's I have students all the time, even just shower a little bit of time, and they say that you don't really learn a ton of business in school, and so you don't know what you don't know, and so I think that that's something that you eventually have to learn. You're either going to learn that in an office where hopefully you get some advice, or you're going to learn that on your own and just like really kind of struggle through it. Which there's no wrong way. It's just understanding that I think that school is different than practice.
For sure. Yeah. Another big thing I think was like networking. I had
Hmm.
no idea like how to do that or even where to start, I guess. And you just kind of like threw me into it like in a good way. Like here you're going to go to this meeting and you're going to, start meeting people.
Yeah, it can be
Um
scary, right? It's like you're there and you just have to sort of have some thick skin and rejection armor, and you have to talk to people. If you don't talk to people, they're not going to know that you can help them.
exactly. Exactly. And like the figuring out the language as well to use like when you're talking to people like just those small things. I feel like I learned a lot.
Awesome. Yeah, and so let's talk a little bit about Boulder specifically. Like, what did you like? I know that you were saying we were just chatting before this call that you were hoping to visit this summer. Yeah, tell us about how you liked Boulder in Colorado and that kind of lifestyle, if you will.
Yeah, I really loved Colorado because like mostly because of the outdoor stuff, like the hiking and the honestly just the mountains when you've never really seen mountains before and you see mountains for the first time, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Um I feel like I really just love the people there too. They're really nice and like I guess I had, yeah, being Canadian, having
I was gonna say a
perceptions
Canadian is saying
about
people are
Americans,
nice.
like having perceptions about Americans, right? But I really felt more at home in Colorado than than I did in California for sure.
Hmm.
I just like people are just super nice and welcoming and easy to talk to.
Yeah.
But I specifically loved the hiking and the outdoor stuff, and also the downtown scene in Boulder
Hmm.
is really fun. Like the food was really good. I don't know, it was really cool to go check out different breweries and that kind of thing.
Yeah, and I think that like what's fun about Boulder specifically is like right after work you can do something really fun. So right after work you can go for a hike, or right after work you can go to a brewery or go down to Pearl Street or something. So it's not like this, sometimes you get off work and you're tired and you're like, well, I don't want to drive an hour to go do something,
Right.
especially in the summertime. So, did you do that often after you were done?
Often, yes.
What was your favorite hike you think around Boulder?
Oh, I can't even remember what it's called now. I guess it's been a while.
Okay.
Basically, like the highest point, like when you're going past like the Flatiron Trails.
Mm-hmm. In Chautauqua?
I think it's called Bear Peak, actually.
Oh yeah, Bear Peak.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was my favorite. That was really like hard and awesome, and the view at the top was amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I mean, like, I still enjoy doing that. Sometimes I forget, so I've been here for so long, that it makes me feel a whole lot better if instead of going directly home and like eating Doritos, if I like go for a little like hour hike and then I just feel really refreshed. So that's awesome.
Definitely. Yeah, I miss it for sure.
Yeah, well, if you can figure out your visa, you're welcome to come back.
Maybe one day.
Well, yeah, and then we were talking about like not only did you learn about chiropractic, but you had mentioned that you had a lot of like personal growth during your first year in practice. Would you kind of expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, I feel like I was really like in my shell, I guess is the best way to put it. And like just by being, I think, around you, honestly, and like learning all the things that were going to be expected of me too, right? Like just going through that process, I feel like I grew so much. I can't even I don't even know where to start with that because it's like a lot, Like I think I went from being someone who really was kind of shy and like maybe didn't like tentative about to talk to people, and then that switched to like going like I would go to networking events to actually put myself into a better mood. Like from being like an introvert to an extrovert kind of thing. It was a lot of growth that way.
Yeah, and you used to do like 3 or 4 networking events a week. It was insane.
Yeah.
It was crazy. You did a ton, but it paid off, and so for those of you who don't know, Sarah is Canadian, and we were not able to get her visa, which is why she is not currently working in my office. But her last month before she left, which was like this huge giant month, and it just paid off, all of that networking. Unfortunately, you didn't get to reap a whole ton of that because you had to leave the country, but it's this slow process, and you put the work in, and it did pay off over time.
Yeah, it was sad leaving, but yeah, it was great, that growth, like knowing that I'd put in all that work and it had sort of paid off towards the end there. Yeah, I think, yeah, like I grew personally, like so many, like personally as well, right? Like we had talked about this before, kind of like about being out and stuff.
Yeah.
So just being comfortable within my professional, being out and professionally as well.
Yeah, and I think you became really more yourself, and that was the big thing of like, because I think a lot of times, that's a really good point that you say, a lot of times you go and you hear in chiropractic that this is how you should dress, this is how you should talk, this is how you should do those things. And there are, yes, you should talk a certain way, use certain language to communicate chiropractic to the general public. But if you are this pretend person and you're pretending to be something else, like that's going to come through. And if it doesn't come through, it's eventually going to exhaust you. And so I think that like watching you be yourself and be more comfortable with who you are, like it doesn't matter like who you are and what your background is. If you're hiding any of that, that's gonna come through and it's gonna be exhausting. So yeah. I think that's also what happened is you got really comfortable being yourself, and then people were attracted to you and they wanted to come in. And that was really important.
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
Well, do you have any advice to any students right now? Like they're just graduated, they're thinking about where they're going to go. What would you tell them?
I would tell them to find like a really good mentor, someone that they feel that they can really learn from. I think that's probably the most important thing. It's also really like important to love where you live and, you know, like be happy, right? And I feel like, yeah, that's a really, really important thing.
Totally, because if you are, if you have a good situation, that's awesome. But as soon as you leave the office, and if your whole life is the office, that's not great eventually. Because eventually you're gonna like, oh, I'd like to go do something, but if you don't like it there, you're gonna have a tough time. So I would agree with that. And did you know that Boulder was actually voted happiest place in America?
Yes, I did.
Numerous times. But happiness is super important. And
300 days of sun. That's why.
There's a lot of sun. I mean, we got hit with snow this year, but there was still a lot of sunny days during that snow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that like people, it's interesting because coming from California, I'm a baby with the cold, but I need that sunshine. You're absolutely right, because even if it's freezing, at least you can look outside and you can pretend that it's warm.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, that's all I got. Do you have any other wonderful advice or thoughts before we get off this interview?
I think, like I said, the finding the mentor part is I really hope that someone reaches out to you after watching this video, because you're a great mentor, and like I said, I learned so much from you, like things that I'm still like working on today, obviously, but yeah, I really hope that someone finds you and you get an associate.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I was very sad to see you go, and unfortunately that's just how things work out sometimes. And I hope an associate comes in too, we were talking before, but I'm like super excited, and I got this really awesome plan for the next person who comes in. And I learned, and every time I have an associate or an intern, when you were in the office, I was also learning basically what not to do.
Right.
Like, oh, that doesn't work with associates. So, I'm glad that you learned a lot from me, but I also learned a lot from you. And hopefully this next go around, we will have an American or a married Canadian.
I hope so.
And we can keep them around longer than a year. But I'm sure everyone's going to be super excited to see this video. I'm going to post this, and people will be excited to see you.
Definitely, yeah. I miss it there. I really hope to come visit. I'm going to come visit when the borders open up after this COVID-19 stuff. It'd be
All
great.
Right. Well, you are always welcome to come hang out, and we'll hang out. Just heard my dog at the door, so I think we're going to have to be done before we start talking.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, Sarah.
Thank you,
I'll see you later. You're very welcome. I'll see you later, and stick around. We'll chat after this, okay?
Okay. Sounds great.
Right. Bye.
Bye.